Well, the Mississippi River is very full. These steps go down to a dock that is completely submerged. The river is just really high this spring. Fortunately, we aren't flooding like they are further upstream. So I'm a pretty simple guy, right? I mean, I don't like to accumulate material things. I used to be like an outdoorsman, survivalist type, you know, send me out into the woods with the clothes on my back and my pocket knife and I can carve out a living. Because of my stomach issues, I don't really have any of the traditional vices, right? I mean, my diet is super bland. I can't drink or smoke, it would absolutely destroy me. The one thing I have to watch though is books. I love to read and I like books, and I guess I accumulate books. I have a stack of books that I need to read and a stack of books that I want to read and more books on the way. In fact, I just got a stack of books in the mail and I was kind of looking through them and my wife looks over and she's like, "When are you going to read all those? I thought you already had a bunch to read." Like, yeah, you know, you're right. That's my one weakness is books. Ecclesiastes 12:12 says, "Of making of books there is no end, and much study is weariness of the flesh." So paraphrased, it's saying, you know, there's no end to the publishing of books, and constant study is just going to wear you out. But really, there's a danger to the books, to the constant study beyond just simple weariness of the flesh. The greater danger is, what are we studying? What are we learning? What are we taking into ourselves? And whose wisdom are we absorbing when we're reading these books? So I bet you're wondering what all this has to do with fruit. Well, here's the scripture that ties it all together. Ready? This is Matthew chapter 7, verses 15 through 23. "Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. By their fruits you will recognize them. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes, or figs from thistles? Likewise, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus, by their fruit you will recognize them. Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only he who does the will of the Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, 'Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons, and perform many miracles?' And I will tell them plainly, 'I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers.'" So this is a good reminder for me when I pick up a book. Is the author, you know, is the book just a sheep's clothing for an author who's really a ferocious wolf? As Christ is saying in this chapter in Matthew. So what fruit are we looking for when we're looking for teachers, when we're looking for authors? We're looking for miracles, or for prophecy, or for the casting out of demons? No, even these things, Christ says, people are going to come to me and say, "Didn't we do miracles? Didn't we cast out demons? Didn't we make prophecies in your name?" He's going to say, "I never knew you." So what fruits are we looking for? Well, if we don't know, we should probably go back and review the fruits of the Spirit. You know, love, joy, peace, and these things. The same sermon is recorded in Luke chapter 6, where Christ says, No good tree bears bad fruit, nor does a bad tree bear good fruits. Each tree is recognized by its own fruit. People do not pick figs from thorn bushes or grapes from briars. The good man brings good things out of the good stored up in his heart. The evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in his heart. For out of the overflow of his heart, his mouth speaks. So I've got to remind myself of this before I pick up a book, or hopefully before I click on the checkout button at the online bookstore. You know, we need to know our leaders. We need to know the authors that we read. We need to know the people whose spiritual teachings we follow and whose wisdom we absorb. This is why God invites us into relationship with Him. And it's why He makes relationship the context for the Christian walk. You know, we can't be Christians on our own. We are Christians in our relationship with God and in our relationship with one another. And so at the very least, this is a good reminder for me to research the authors I read before I pick up their books. So you know the expression, you can't judge a book by its cover? I think Christ was saying the same thing here. You can't judge a tree by its leaves. You gotta look at the fruit. Well, I'm gonna get back to work, and I wish you a very fruitful week.